this poem?
All the world's a stage, and all men and women are merely players.
Okay, so when we say all the men and women merely players, so what do you mean by merely players? Why not just players? Why merely?
Hmm. Here he is actually just posing that the world is a vast stage and they're just merely players because they're doing it for the sake of fun, because they're not assigned, they're not playing with a specific purpose, because they are doomed to play here. So they're merely players. Here the writer actually wants to, minimize, or to, we can say that he's reducing their roles as men and women. So he calls them that they're just merely players.
Okay, what is the difference between mere and mere?
Sir, spell, please.
M-A-R-E, M-E-R-E.
Mere and mere.
I can write it for your convenience. M-A-R-E and M-A-R.
MERE, mere means like it shows insignificance of something, like as we say that a sirf or some, and mare is like a female horse.
Fair enough. Oh, yes. Okay, so Fatima, that's great. What is your hobby? What do you do in your leisure time, Fatima?
Sir, usually, to be very honest, I do not have free time in my life. I mean, free
Mm-hmm.
to be indulged in different hobbies, but whenever I'm free, I used to write
Mm-hmm.
poetry.
What you
Whenever
like?
I get, I like to write poetry.
Okay, for this embark upon the journey for writing. Have you read the poem Layer? You syllable.
Yes, BA and
Okay. What is the poem Layer?
sir, there was a disruption in your voice. Repeat this
What is the title of the poem Layer?
every day.
Okay. So, what do you mean with William Davis turn at hands and wash her feet against no time to eat till her mouth can breathe there her eyes began.
Here, basically,
Hmm.
you education in PPSC, and he's talking about that the modern. There is a dilemma with. There's a tragedy with modern man that he
Fair
actually
enough. What is
doesn't
the difference
find
between modern man and the classical man, Miss Fatima?
modern man and classical man. Okay, the classical men used to spend most of their time with the with the company of nature, and they were not so busy. And if we talk about the context of the poem we are talking about, so the classical man was not busy enough, and this modern man is quite busy because he is so materialistic as compared to the classical man. So when he's so materialized in his pursuits, then he doesn't have any time for himself to get free and to indulge in different activities even for a shorter time. Like it takes very short time to to see that beauty, to have a glimpse of something, but even these common phenomena are being neglected by the modern man because of his busy.
There's a very famous name. There's a very famous name and critic, even the founder of a movement, who wrote a lot on the modern man. So, do you remember any name? And there are a lot many poems. Even some poets, some poems are the part of your intermediate and the graduation syllabus of Punjab University. So remember about the Hello Man?
Yes, you're talking about T.S. Eliot.
Oh yes.
Yes,
So
sir.
do you feel the Hello Man is exactly depicting the same, whatever you are saying? The hollow man is saying the same.
No, sir, there's a difference between the two.
Mm-hmm.
What I am talking is that the modern man is, not actively participating in his life, right?
Okay.
This is what I'm talking about. But what is but the message of hollow man is something different, because he talks about the general frustration and general, shallowness, or the holiness,
So
or
can
hollow.
you recall some lines from The Hollow Man by Eliot?
Yes, sir, I am able to recall.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Okay, you're taking more than expected time, because in online interviews you cannot take more than 2 to 3 seconds. Okay, fair enough.
we are
Let's skip this question.
and
No, for Fatima, actually, you have taken more than sufficient time. Just let's skip this question.
Okay.
Let's talk about in your actual interview. You can take the time, but we will not be able to
Okay.
evaluate your performance if you're going to take more than 5 seconds while answering the question. Okay, my question is, T.S. Eliot is a modernist. So what do you think? He is a modernist. He is a modern person. He is a modern poet.
Yes, sir. In my opinion, he is a modern poet, because he talks about the issues, and he talks about the things that were present there in modern era, and those issues were the core issues of the modern times. So
Then
we
what do you
that
feel about H.G. Wells? If he is a modern person, then what do you think about H.G. Wells?
I haven't read that, and I haven't read
Okay.
enough about H.G. Wells. So
T.S. Eliot is talking about what T.S. Eliot is talking about. Have you read The Wasteland?
yes, sir.
The Wasteland, and I'm sure that if you have read The Wasteland, you know that the very first lines they are talking about April is the cruelest month,
Yes, sir.
breeding. Okay, so if he's talking about April, that is the cruelest month, but April was not the cruel month. April was a very wonderful month. I'm sure that you have read the Canterbury Tales.
Yes,
So
sir.
April is not the cruelest month. So it
Mm.
means something happened, like with the passage of time in modern age, April has become the cruel month. So what is that reason? Why T.S. Eliot is saying April is the cruelest month?
T.S. Eliot says so because there is a degradation of human life, and there are other factors responsible for that, because he was because there were wars enough, and the whole the system of values was gone through a change. So this is how T.S. Eliot talks about it.
Have you read Love Songs of J. Alfred Prufrock?
No, sir.
Okay. The love song, and you know who's the writer?
Yes, sir.
Who
T.S.
is?
Eliot. Sir.
Okay, T.S. Eliot is the writer. The beginning line, the very beginning line of the love songs of J. Alfred Prufrock, let us go, then you and I, when the evening is spread out against the sky, like a patient etherized upon a table. So let us go through certain half deserted streets. So is it a modern life? You have mentioned T.S. Eliot is a modern poet. So is it the real modern life? Like the life is like a patient etherized upon a table who is not able to move. The streets, they are the certain half deserted one. So what sort of modern life it is?
Sorry, sir.
Okay. So any book of, you have already mentioned that you haven't read H.G. Wells. Okay, just leave it. Talking about your favorite person in literature, Miss Fatima.
My favorite person in literature is Henry Gibson.
Mm-hmm. Any other one?
And Christopher Marlowe.
That's great. Okay, Henrik Ibsen, the father of what?
Father of modern drama, modern prose drama.
Okay, and the father of realism as well.
Yes, sir.
What is the realism, Miss Fatima?
Realism is a way of presenting things as they are, without
Mm-hmm.
without changing them for the sake of didacticism, without changing them for the sake of entertainment. It is a mean to portray the things as they are.
All right. Okay, so when we say he is the father, he is the father of English drama as well. He is the father of realism as well. So, Fatima, don't you feel Ibsen is the person who is working basically on the unreliability of appearances? The themes of his writings mainly deal with deceit, reputation, and the marriages. So, if a person is writing on very narrow themes, how he can become the father of English drama? Why he is the father? Like there are a lot many other writers. Why Ibsen is considered the father? Don't you feel something is wrong with this choice?
No, I don't feel so. I feel that his themes are, maybe you say that his themes are very limited, but the way he treated them and the way he revolutionized the drama makes him the father of modern English drama.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So basically, because he is giving you something new. Okay, all right, fair enough. I'm convinced with the answer. Okay, so when we talk about modern drama, but here I'm going to include modern American drama. So who is the father of modern American drama? Because you are into modern drama, so I'm sure that you have read the details of that person.
So your voice is not clear.
Who is the father of modern American drama? Modern
You-
American drama. Am I audible, Miss Fatima?
yes, sir,
The
but there's a
mm,
distortion in your voice.
okay, just let me confirm it from the rest of the participants. Is there any distortion? The rest of the participants, they are able to get anything from my side? Ishfaq, Aisha, please do confirm it in the chat box. So there's distortion. Okay, so is it fine? No, or there's a need to switch the network? You're audible. Slight distortion is there. Okay. Fatima, my question is about the father of modern American drama.
Yes, sir. So
Who is the
Eugene
father of?
O'Neill is the father of modern American drama.
Okay, so how many works of Eugene O'Neill you have read so far?
I have read only one play, that is Morning Becomes Electra. That was
All
on
right.
my syllabus. So,
That is trilogy. So what
yes,
is
sir.
trilogy, Miss Fatima?
A trilogy is like presenting three plays in a sequence. Like the story is same, but they are printed or they are presented as a group of three.
O'Neill won Nobel Prize in which year?
In 1936,
Oh yes. And any other prize?
I am not sure, but I remember that he received Pulitzer Prize for his writing as well.
Oh yes, he did. He did receive it. Okay, morning becomes Electra. What is the significance of the title? Morning becomes Electra.
Morning. Sorry, sir. Unable
Mhm.
to read.
What is the significance of the blessed island? You know, there is a very wonderful island in the morning becomes Electra. So, what is the significance of that island?
Sorry, sir.
Okay, just leave morning, become Electra. I think that you need to revisit the details. Some last question about linguistics and then your teaching methodology. So, Miss Fatima, what do you feel at graduation level? What sort of linguistics should be taught to our students? Basic
At graduation,
linguistics, advanced linguistics, applied linguistics, like corpus linguistics. What sort of linguistics?
so I think, in my opinion, applied linguistics should be a better option for the students,
Mm-hmm.
but they
Okay,
cannot learn
so
it without just learning the basics of linguistics.
okay, Miss Fatima, what is the name of your famous poet
John Keats.
and why John Keats?
Because John Keats, in my opinion, he was a pure poet because he wrote only about poetry for the sake of poetry. His purpose was didactic, and he just took it as a subject and just dealt with it.
Okay, and what is negative capability, Miss Fatima?
A negative capability was a belief of, and this was a term that was coined by John Keats in 1817 in a letter to his brothers. And this shows that it says that sometimes we should be able to be there in certainties and uncertainties and doubts deliberately to understand few things. And he said that Shakespeare was rich in this, the concept of negative capability.
Okay, Miss Fatima, I'm sure some lines are there in front of you. From like who is the poet, who is the writer of these lines, and from which poem, from which particular poem these lines have been taken?
So, yes, sir.
Who is the writer?
So let me see. Uh, so these lines have been taken from Otto Nightingale.
Oh yes, that's perfectly fine. So can you explain of beaten green and shadows numberless singles of summer in full throated ease? The second two lines from the first stanza.
No, sir, I am not able to convey the message of these lines right now.
Thank you so much, Ms. Fatma. It was a wonderful discussion. We're ending your formal discussion here, and let's talk about the experience, the feedback section. Well, Ms. Fatima, the introduction and all the things were very good, very fine, very good for that. Your grip or basics like your graduation and the things that are related to Henrik Ibsen, that's marvelous and fantastic, but unconsciously you change language. The language switch is there. Like for example, when you are speaking to isko, sometimes you switch language unconsciously. Maybe you need to keep a strict check here. Okay,
Yes,
the
sir.
next comment is about your modern man and the classical man. When someone is talking about T.S. Eliot or Ezra Pound, you need to understand that this thing, the situation is going to be very complicated because T.S. Eliot is a person who gave you modernism, but this modernism is a very strange movement because whatever he is talking about in his modernism, the theory, it is talking about classicism, and he is wrapping the classicism under the very wonderful wrapper of modernism. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
though T.S. Eliot is modernist, he claims so, and he is considered the founder of modernism. But whatever he is talking about, he is selling the classicism, even medievalism. Okay, because if April is becoming cruel month here in Geoffrey Chaucer's Canterbury Tale, it
But
was not
sweet.
like that. I'm sorry, Fatima.
Ji,
It
sir.
was a sweet month. It was a
Ji.
sweet month at that time. The thing about is the next thing is about Halloween. I'm sure that you have revised all the points of your intermediate and graduation. because these are the very basic points right from your layer. And then if I'm not able to, the second point was perhaps Kubla Khan and all the points जो भी graduation के अंदर शामिल हैं. So I please make it sure that you have revised all the points. Okay, layer
Yes.
है, tartary है, woman work है, ठीक है. अगर मैं सही बात कर रहा हूँ, the rebel है, इसमें आपके पास है portrait interpreter है, आपके पास जो है वो 9th नंबर पे the solitary reaper थी, 10th नंबर पे all the words the straits थी, ठीक है.
Yes.
11th नंबर पे arrival and departure थी, 12th नंबर पे poison tree थी, 13 नंबर पे शायद आफ्टर एप्पल पे बिकॉज ही कुडंट स्टॉप फॉर दैट थी एमिली डिक्सन की. 14 पे जो है वो एप्पल पिकिंग है.
Right, sir.
15 पे कुछ कुछ ऐसे था. फिर कुबला खान भी 7th नंबर पे था. ये वाली जो है, और ये सारी की सारी पॉइंट्स को फिंगर टिप्स पे होना चाहिए. अब मैंने अपनी कोई ग्रेजुएशन अगर इतने सालों पहले की थी, मुझे ये याद है, तो आई एम श्योर कि आपको भी याद होंगी, ठीक है. तो आप इनको एक दफ़ा रिवाइज भी कर लीजिएगा, ठीक है. सो यू नीड टू रिविजिट ऑल द डिटेल्स अबाउट टी.एस. एलियट, और इसको आपको इम्प्रूव करने की जरूरत है. सो व्हेन यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट एजरा बाउंड,
मैंने एक्चुअली प्रिपेयर नहीं किया था, लेकिन आपने क्योंकि क्वेश्चन किए तो फिर मैंने इसको तो कोशिश की अपनी तरफ से, लेकिन ये मैंने बहरहाल अभी रेडी नहीं किया. मैं कर ही नहीं हूँ काम इस पे ना.
इंशाल्लाह इंशाल्लाह फातिमा. सो हमारा स्कोर जो है अनफॉर्चुनेटली पहले जैसे ही है, अभी तक बेहतर नहीं हो सकेगा इस अटेम्प्ट के बाद. तो अभी हम फिर मजीद बेहतरी इसमें लाने की कोशिश करते हैं. आई एम श्योर दैट यू हैवंट रिसीव्ड योर कॉल लेटर येट मिस फातिमा.
सर मेरा नहीं रिसीव हो गया, मेरा 10th को है इंटरव्यू.
यू हैव योर इंटरव्यू द 10th. ओके. अच्छा, हमारे पास तमाम लोगों के 10th तक के इंटरव्यूज हैं. आई एम श्योर कि उसके बाद किसी का नहीं होगा. तो आप ऐसा कीजिएगा फातिमा कि आप एक दफ़ा इन जो चीज़ें मैंने हाईलाइट की हैं इनको देख लीजिएगा, ठीक है. इनको आप देखिएगा, और बाकी मॉक सेशंस को, मॉक इंटरव्यूज जो बाकी एस्पिरेंट्स के होते हैं उन्हें भी अटेंड किया करें. काफ़ी चीज़ें अगर किसी इंटरव्यू में 2-3 क्वेश्चंस में ऐसे होते हैं जो आपके लिए नए होते हैं, मे बी वही क्वेश्चंस जो हैं वो आपके इंटरव्यू का पार्ट होने जा रहे होते हैं, सो इनको अटेंड किया करें. सो लास्ट टाइम आई थिंक कि आप जहाँ पे थे, अगर वो स्कोर कम था तो दिस टाइम इट इज़ 68. आई डोंट नो कि आप लास्ट टाइम कहाँ पे कर रहे थे. मुझे याद आ गया आप शायद काफी नीचे थे, 63-65 पे थे, ठीक
सर
है.
फर्स्ट था उसमें 70 था, देन फिर आपने लिया फिर 50 पे था, फिर ये 68 पे वेरी करता है.
आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग एक्चुअली कि आप बड़ा अच्छा परफॉर्म कर सकते हैं. आपके पास कुछ स्किल्स हैं, और वो स्किल्स हैं कि आपकी फ्लुएंसी जो है वो दैट इज बेटर. तो आप इसको यूज करें. और आपको एक आर्ट पे काम करने की बड़ी शिद्दत से ज़रूरत है, और वो ये है कि आप ना समझ नहीं पाते हैं कि अगला बंदे से मैंने अब कौन सा क्वेश्चन जो है वो निकलवाना है, ठीक है. आप शायद इसके ऊपर काम करें. अच्छा, ये आयशा का इंटरव्यू जो है वो इंशाल्लाह मंडे का होगा. आयशा हमारे साथ हैं. आयशा इनको अटेंड कीजिएगा, मैं रिकमेंड करूँगा. आयशा बड़े अच्छे से इस आर्ट को इम्प्लीमेंट करते हैं. इशफाक बड़े अच्छे से इम्प्लीमेंट करते हैं. दोनों पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं आपकी क्लास में, आप इनसे भी गाइडेंस जो है वो ले सकते हैं, ठीक है. सो इनको देखने की कोशिश कीजिएगा, इनसे रिक्वेस्ट कीजिएगा इशफाक साहब और आयशा के अगला क्वेश्चन क्या हो सकता है, उसको कैसे टैकल करना है, उसके ऊपर जो है वो आप इनसे गाइडेंस जो है वो लीजिएगा. आपको आई एम श्योर ये गाइड कर दें, ठीक है जी.
जी सर, थैंक यू.
सो चलें जी, अपना बहुत सा ख्याल रखिए फातिमा. और गखर से हैं आप जो हैं, आई एम श्योर के द डे इज़ नॉट अवे. इस दफ़ा सिलेक्शन के चांसेस पंजाब पब्लिक सर्विस कमीशन वालों के काफ़ी ब्राइट हैं, क्योंकि आपके मुकाबले में सिर्फ एक ही लड़की है. और खुदा न खास्ता अगर सिर्फ फेल नहीं होते हैं तो चांसेस जो हैं वो आपके पास आ जाते हैं. तो ज़्यादा मेहनत करें. जो इश्यूज हम हाईलाइट करते हैं उनको जो है वो देखने की ज़रूरत है. अभी हम क्या करते हैं, हम इस मीटिंग को दोबारा ज्वाइन करते हैं, और मिस समीना फातिमा जो बड़ी बहादुर हमारी जो है वो पार्टिसिपेंट हैं, क्योंकि वो डिफरेंटली एबल हैं और वो बड़े अच्छे से परफॉर्म करते हैं. हम उनका मॉक इंटरव्यू को लेंगे, और उसके बाद हम लिटरेरी मूवमेंट्स को देखेंगे. उनकी लिस्ट जो है वो मैं आपके साथ शेयर करूंगा, प्लस सेंटेंजा के जो डिफरेंट फॉर्म्स हैं हम उन पर बात करेंगे. तो सेशन को दोबारा ज्वाइन करते हैं और यहीं से कंटिन्यू करते हैं.